Hey everyone, and welcome to the Season 3 Week 1 on iRacing. Today we are here at Watkins Glen for the GR Butt Kicker Cup Series. We have managed to put ourselves up in P4 on the grid after having very little practice before qualifying. But here we are, we go to the final corner as we are rounding and getting ready to go to the green lights. Unluckily, this is a replay because I lost my footage, so we're not going to get any of the other overlays like the mirror and stuff that we'd usually get, but that's okay. We've still got the Race Labs one, but there we are underway. The car behind looks like he might go for a move, so I'll go a bit defensive, but then decide that he's a bit too far behind, so I'm not going to defend it. Into turn one, the car in front gets a little bit shaky. Matt there getting all over the place, and Andreas moving up into P1 after running a little bit questionably wide there, but he does not get a slowdown. He's going to take the lead, but these cars have so much slipstream down this long straight. They are so bulky, and just look at the closing speed I have on Andreas here. He has nothing he can respond to. I'm going to give him a little bump draft here, but then in the end I back out a little bit as we get closer to the chicane, because I do not want to go straight into his rear end here. Matt in front gets all airtime there, two wheels in the air out of that corner, and runs a little bit wide into the sweeping right-hander. We managed to tuck it nice and close to the apex, and we get a pretty good run, and I almost think about going for a move on Matt here, but then I decide I'm going to go against it because that would just end absolutely miserably. But now, as we go on in the race, we are still sitting P4. Matt is looking at the rear of Andreas. He's going to go for a move. Andreas comes right across, but now we've got a car sending it up the inside of us, and as Alexander does make the move, you can see his bumper off to the right there, but we are going to get almightily close to each other. But now I've got the overspeed coming out of that exit, so I'm going to get up half a car length in front of him. It's going to be all about the braking here as we brake nice and late, but he's still on the inside, so I'm going to have to try and force my way around the outside, and luckily for me I managed to get the job done and move over back to the racing line. So we managed to hold off Alexander for now, but that will not be the last we see of him, as Matt, Andreas and Parker up ahead are still going at it for that P1 position. They're keeping it nice and clean so far, no real accidents. I think there might have been one right at the back of the pack, but for us it's been pretty clean so far. Other than the occasional bump, as you can see I'm already on 7x, but other than the occasional bump, it's been pretty clean. But now we go on to lap 2. Alexander is 0.4 behind us. He's gaining in the slipstream, and as we go into turn 1, we get the apex nice and tight. That's a pretty good turn 1. We've gained a little bit on Matt and Andreas up front, and now we're going to get right into that slipstream and hopefully get them to pull us up alongside them, and maybe even look for a move into the chicane, even though that is possibly the most sketchy place to go for a move and go side by side. But we're not going to worry, as I don't think we're going to get close enough for that anyway. But the slipstream is really helping us drag us along and keep Alexander behind, keep him tame and not allowing him to do anything suspect at the moment as we go through the chicane nice and quick. Get a little bit wide, but we managed to keep it on the curb and not dip our wheel in the grass, which can always cause problems and generally does. But now we managed to hold Alexander off. He's dropped the 10th behind. Actually, no, he's not. Now he's back within that 10th, and the car behind both within half a second of us. But Andreas in the Rusty's Lightning McQueen livery is a little bit slow, and Matt's going to pounce on this and maybe make the most of his opportunities. He sends it down the inside, and there's going to be contact between the two drivers as they are hustling for that second place position. Loads and loads of contact, and Matt seems to get the better of him, but Andreas has got a better run out of the corner. We've now got a ton of slipstream, and we're going to maybe look to get the double overtake, or even just follow one of them through as we brake nice and late. But Matt is a little bit slow on that apex, and that's going to give us an opportunity as he comes across to the racing line. We're going to dart down the inside, and we are going to hit late on the brakes and absolutely send a move on the inside of him. Almost a little bit of contact as he runs a little bit wide, but we managed to get the move done, and that is us up into the podium positions. What an overtake that was. I am super chuffed with that. But Alexander has managed to gain a little bit on us because of that as he followed us through. And now we run a little bit wide through the final corner, We run a little bit wide, and that's going to give Alexander a massive run on us down this back straight. But here we are then. Here's a replay of that overtake. You can see as we cut down the inside very quickly, and we dart down the middle, and we brake late, and look, he actually ends up running a little bit wide and hitting the wall, which inevitably slows him down enough for Alexander to get the move done. We will now cut to the live action as we are on lap 4, and we are defending from Matt, who has come back at us, overtaken both Alexander and Cody, and we have to be defensive into turn 1, but that's going to hinder us down the straight as he is going to get right up behind us. He's 0.1, and now he's actually going to look for the inside line, but we're going to come across, and he is right on our tail and in the slipstream. That's going to allow him to pull up alongside us as we go through this little tweak in the straight here. He's going to come up next to us now, and we are in a very, very dangerous position. As you can see up top, there is the TV cam from his car, the onboard. As we go into the chicane, we keep the room, we give it a nice road, but then he turns us and we get lots of contact, and then we can't keep the grip going, we lose it, we hit another car, and we are into the barrier. And oh my word, that is a drastically, probably race-ending crash. As my steering, I almost have to steer 90 degrees to the left to go straight. And as you can see, I am struggling, but I am just fuming in the car, in the cockpit, as that was such a silly, silly move by the other driver. I had the right to that corner, but he did not give it to me. Here we are, here's the replay. As you can see, I come across, and then he just goes for it, even though there is no possibility of him making it. And I just cannot control the car. I try to hold it steady, but I cannot. I lose the rear end. But now we go to lap 7. We have gone into the pits. I decide, you know what, there's no point giving up, I might as well go. And there has been some major crashes up in front, which has allowed us to come out just behind one of the other cars, Jai, who has been in an accident, coming out the pits now. We did miss out on getting a lot of the overtakes because their accidents were just too far ahead of us after we had been towed to the pits. But that is okay, we got it. We've got in the cockpit for a little bit longer, so maybe we can get this move done on Jai up front, as we have putting in good, decent lap times at 2:07.4, which is pretty good. But now later on lap 7, we are finally catching up to him, but we get an absolutely stonking run out of that corner, and that is going to allow us to close right up to his rear end. We get in the slipstream. He is pulling very, very far out. We're going to pretend to go for the dive just to try and psych him out a bit, make him brake late, make him into a mistake. But he manages to hold his position. But even so, we have gained quite a bit of time through there. Now into this corner, we're going to brake a little bit early, try compromise the entry and get the exit as he runs it a little bit wide, and we are going to have an absolute flying exit. We're going to pull up alongside him. We are going to go for the move. We're going to absolutely send it. We cut down the inside, and we just managed to squeeze in front of him. And as we'll see later on the replay, that was maybe millimeters of distance between my rear bumper and his front. So we have managed to get that move down. We are up into P12. So here is a replay then. As you can see, we are going to absolutely send it down the inside and only just marginally get in front of him. But what a move that was. But now we are on lap 8, the final lap of the race, I believe, or maybe there'll be one more. And he is on our inside, and we are fighting this out for P12. Can you imagine that? Just a little fight at the back of the pack. Big tussle for P12. But I've got the overspeed on him as he got in front, and I got a little bit of slipstream, and we're going to pull to the inside, and are we going to go too wide into the chicane? I've got bad memories, bad flashbacks, but we are going to go for it anyway as we brake a little bit early, take it nice and tight, give him plenty room, and we managed to do it. But he holds the inside and holds us the position, and that there is just making me think, why could Matt not have done the same earlier? Why did he have to take me out? But there's not much I can do about that anymore, as we have just got to focus on Jai in front to see if we can get this P12 position. We've got a pretty good corner, and we've got a pretty good exit. We're still in his slipstream. We're going to gain a little bit down the short little straight into the corner. We're going to try psych him out again and pretend to go for the move, but then there is the space, but then it shuts off as quickly as it opened, and we are going to lose a little bit of time there to Jai, maybe 3/10 possibly through there, 2/10. And that's going to give him the edge into this next corner. We've got 3 to go, or 4 even. 4 corners to go. Can we do it? Can we get the move done? We get through this corner, and we've got a pretty good exit, but he's still looking a bit too far ahead for me to make the move. And at this point, I am thinking, yeah, it's done. P13 I'll have to live with. But through this corner we get a crazily good exit in comparison, and we are going to gain and gain and gain in the slipstream, and then through the second last corner flat, keep your foot to the floor, we're going to gain even more and more in the slipstream. We're going to go into the final corner. It's all about who can get the better exit here as we turn in, brake a little bit early, and we've got a very, very good exit. Can we get the move done? We're going to hold the slipstream, then pull out. I maybe should have stayed in the slipstream a little bit longer, but we're going to race to the line. It's a drag race, and we're going to cross the line, but it is just not going to be enough on my part, and we have to settle for P13. So here we are then. These are the classified results from that race. We lost 0.06 safety rating, which was kind of expected, but 60 iRating loss for finishing 13th. I am fuming that I was on for a P3 finish there, but in the end it wasn't meant to be. But anyway guys, if you have enjoyed, make sure you go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.